Hi guys, so today I have a book review for you, and this was actually a buddy read with my friend Rob from Rob's Reading Roundup. We read this together in May. Sorry, I completely forgot what month we're in. And we previously buddy read The Bronze Horseman, and so this is our second buddy read, and we read Flowers in the Attic by V.C. Andrews. This was actually a reread for Rob and a new read for me. So I will read the back for you. At the top of the stairs there are 4 secrets hidden: blonde, beautiful, innocent, and struggling to stay alive. They were a perfect family, golden and carefree, until a heartbreaking tragedy shattered their happiness. Now, for the sake of an inheritance that will ensure their future, the children must be hidden away, out of sight, as if they never existed. Kept on the top floor of their grandmother's vast mansion, their loving mother assures them it will be just for a little while. But as brutal days swell into agonising months and years, Kathy, Chris, and twins Corey and Carrie realise their survival is at the mercy of their cruel and superstitious grandmother, and this cramped and helpless world may be the only one they ever know. This enduring masterpiece of psychological suspense, the first in the Dollenganger, that is extremely hard to say, family saga, remains the most famous and provocative novel from V.C. Andrews, one of the most popular storytellers of all time. So, first of all, I love this cover. I know it's a mass market paperback, but I really love this cover. It's a little bit beat up now, which I don't like, because if you don't know, I read on the way to and from work. So this was in my bag, and it got a little bit worse for wear, which I do not like at all. This took me a little while to read, actually. I was quite surprised. It took me like 2 weeks. Just over 2 weeks to read this. I am sort of in some sort of reading, I don't want to say slump because I'm not, but I'm in some kind of phase where my reading is a lot slower than it normally is. I was in the same last month. I just, for some reason, I'm not reading as fast as I normally am. So it took me a long time to read this, but it was really quite captivating. I mean, this was published in the late 70s, I think 79. So it's kind of an old book now. It's been out a long time. And I think the story just still holds true now. I think it's just as captivating and fascinating to people as it was then, because as soon as I started reading it, I was hooked. As much as it was taking me a long time to read, I was heavily invested in the story. The fact that this mother locks her children away in an attic, for a start, that's completely messed up. But the longer they're up there, and the things that they have to go through, and the way that they change, and you see what happens to them, it was really quite sinister, quite dark, quite creepy. I was a little bit frustrated with the older brother, Chris, because his faith in his mother is unbreakable. Like, he doesn't doubt her. I mean, I'm not being funny. If I was locked up in an attic, for a start, I would find that extremely strange. But the longer I was up there, the less I would think that I was ever coming out. But it takes a lot for his faith to waver. And I mean, I'm very interested to read Christopher's diary, which is from his point of view, just to see, because the story is told from Kathy's point of view, and she's the second eldest sibling, so I'd be interested to see it from his point of view. Some seriously messed up stuff happens in this book. There is a lot of, I don't really want to spoil it, but things happen that should not happen. Not just with the siblings, but in the family in general. So I think that will be shocking and off-putting for a lot of people, but I can kind of see how things got to the point that they did get to, and I kind of, not vindicated it, but could understand it in my own head, why it got to the stage that it did, and why what happened. I think people genuinely could understand that. The writing is quite beautiful. It's quite simple and straightforward, but I love how V.C. Andrews described the attic, and sort of how they transform the attic, how they have to survive up there, what they do to it. I particularly loved the writing of the two twins, the youngest siblings. I loved how she wrote them, how they each had their own little personalities and how they spoke. I found really quite charming, and I did love them. I also liked the descriptions of the grandmother. She created this amazing atmosphere whenever the grandmother was around, and you just couldn't help but be creeped out by her and sort of almost put you in the attic with the children. Her descriptions of her were so vivid. I really, really liked that. Her descriptions of the mother were also quite interesting. As a reader, you build up a very complex, and I think you understand the mother more than the children do, and what's going on in the mother's head. Like, we can see it, but the kids, Kathy becomes more perceptive to it, sort of the conniving nature of the mother, and how the mother changes, but I think we sort of understand her maybe more so than the children do. But I really, really enjoyed this. I wish that I could have read it quicker, but like I say, I don't know if it was all of the book or if some of it was me. But I did really, really enjoy it. I can't even speak now. I did really enjoy it, and would I continue with the series? Yes, I think I would, but I'm really happy with the way this one ended. I don't feel like I need to pick up the second book right away. I do own it, but I don't feel the burning need to pick up that one right away. The way it ends, I'm satisfied for now, and when I feel like I want to continue it, I just can do. But I think equally you can just leave it reading this one. I do have a few questions that I feel will be answered, obviously, with the other books in the series. And I would also really like to read Christopher's diary to get his perspective on things and what's going on in the attic, because obviously we only really get Kathy's point of view. So I would like to see into his mind, and certain events through his eyes I feel would be very interesting. So I would definitely do that. Overall, I would give it 4 out of 5. I would recommend it for those looking for sort of a really different read, a really dark read. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. So that's my review of Flowers in the Attic. I wasn't disappointed by it at all. I really enjoyed it. It met my expectations, and I was satisfied with it, and I did really enjoy it. So that's my review. If you've read Flowers in the Attic, I would love to know your thoughts on it, because it is quite a controversial read. Since it's been published, it's been banned in several places due to its content. But if you have read it or are interested in reading it, I would love to know in the comments down below. I know that Lifetime have also made a movie of it. I know there was a movie made years ago, but more recently, but I can't seem to get hold of it here in the UK, which is a shame, because I'd be very interested to watch that, and it's been received quite well. So I would love to see that, but unfortunately I can't at the moment. Hopefully it will come here eventually. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Happy reading.